Colfax is the county seat of Whitman County, Washington, United States. The population was 2,805 at the 2010 census. The population is estimated at 2,826 per the State of Washington Office of Financial Management in 2015, making Colfax the second largest city in Whitman County behind Pullman. It is situated amidst wheat-covered hills in a valley at the confluence of the north and south forks of the Palouse River. U.S. Route 195, which forms the town's main street, intersects with State Route 26 at the north end of town. In the past, Colfax also lay at the junction of three major railway lines. It was named after Schuyler Colfax, the vice president from 1869 to 73. History. Palouse Indians were the first known human inhabitants of the Colfax area. White settlers arrived in the summer of 1870, and soon built a sawmill, a flour mill and other businesses followed, and Colfax soon grew into a prosperous town. Originally, pioneer citizen James Perkin called the settlement Belleville in honor of his girlfriend. When he found a new love, he changed the town's name to Colfax for then Vice President Schuyler Colfax. Colfax was officially incorporated on November 29, 1873. In 1889–90, the town vied with several other finalists to become the site of a new state agricultural college, present-day Washington State University. The honor ultimately fell to nearby Pullman, 15 miles southeast. The early history of Colfax was distinguished by prominent lynchings in 1894 and 1898. Until passed by Pullman at the 1930 census, Colfax was the largest city in the county. Notable people: Dinsmore Alter, astronomer and meteorologist; Ida Lou Anderson, radio pioneer, professor; Roland Bainton, professor of ecclesiastical history, Reformation scholar; Willard Bond, painter; Giacomo Canut, rodeo champion and Hollywood stuntman; John Crawford, born Cleve Richardson, Hollywood actor; Timothy Ely, contemporary artist; William La Follette, politician, congressman from Washington; Abe Goff, politician, Republican congressman from Idaho; John Kit Zauber, twice governor of Oregon; Morten Lauridsen, composer of classical music; Virgil T. McCroskey, 1876–1970, an amateur conservationist who created two state parks, Steptoe Butte State Park in Washington and Mary Minerva McCroskey State Park in Idaho. A pharmacist until 1920, McCroskey owned the Elk Drug Store on Main Street, the facade of which still bears his name. Robert Osborne, Hollywood historian and journalist, primetime host of Turner Classic Movies. As a teenager, he worked at the Rose, a long-defunct movie theater in downtown Colfax, and broke both arms while putting Elizabeth Taylor's name on the marquee. Mimi La Follette, summer skill author, educator, political activist and vintner. J. H. Upton, Oregon lawyer and politician. Geography and climate. Colfax is located in southeastern Washington at 46.88–417 degrees north, 117.36361 degrees west, 46.88–417 minus 117.36361, at an elevation of 1,962 feet. The nearest cities are Spokane, Pullman, Moscow, and Lewiston, Clarkston. The area is geologically interesting, lying in the midst of the fertile Palouse country in the middle of the Columbia River Plateau. with the Rocky Mountains to the east, the channeled scablands to the west, and the Snake River to the south. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 3.79 square miles, all of it land. The Palouse River, confined for flood control to a concrete bed that reduces it to an 18-inch wide stream during the dry season, runs through the middle of town, parallel to Main Street. Colfax has a four-season continental climate, with hot dry summers, cold winters, and a rainy season that generally runs from autumn till spring. The annual rainfall averages less than 20 inches a year. This climate, together with the deep, rich Palouse topsoil, makes for near-ideal wheat growing conditions. Demographics. The population has hovered near 3,000 since 1910. 2010 census. As of the census of 2010, there were 2,805 people, 1,236 households, and 718 families residing in the city. The population density was 740.1 inhabitants per square mile. There were 1,405 housing units at an average density of 370.7 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 95.6% white, 0.5% African American, 0.4% Native American, 1.5% Asian, 0.1% Pacific Islander, 0.5% from other races, and 1.4% from two or more races. Hispanic Latino of any race were 2.8% of the population. There were 2,236 households, of which 27.1% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 46.4% were married couples living together. 8.3% had a female householder with no husband present. 3.5% had a male householder with no wife present, and 41.9% were non-families. 37.5% of all households were made up of individuals, and 18.2% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.19, and the average family size was 2.89. The median age in the city was 42.7 years. 22.9% of residents were under the age of 18, 6.7% were between the ages of 18 and 24, 23.3% were from 25 to 44, 25.7% were from 45 to 64, and 21.2% were 65 years of age or older. The gender makeup of the city was 49.7% male and 50.3% female. 2000 census. As of the 2000 census, there were 2,844 people, 1,191 households, and 740 families residing in the city. The population density was 1,705.6 people per square mile. There were 1,357 housing units at an average density of 813.8 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 94.16% white, 0.25% African American, 0.84% Native American, 2.07% Asian, 0.60% from other races, and 2.07% from two or more races. Hispanic Latino of any race were 1.48% of the population. There were 1,191 households, out of which 27.9% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 52.6% were married couples living together. 6.9% had a female householder with no husband present, and 37.8% were non-families. 35.0% of all households were made up of individuals, and 18.1% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.24 and the average family size was 2.90. In the city, the age distribution of the population shows 23.5% under the age of 18, 6.2% from 18 to 24, 25.6% from 25 to 44, 22.6% from 45 to 64, and 22.1% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 41 years, well above the national average of 35.3, possibly due to the presence of several retirement communities. For every 100 females there were 93.6 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 89.6 males. The median income for a household in the city was $36,622, and the median income for a family was $47,589. Males had a median income of $32,188 versus $26,349 for females. The per capita income for the city was $18,519. About 6.1% of families and 9.3% of the population were below the poverty line, including 9.7% of those under age 18 and 6.8% of those age 65 or over.